First Reading is a daily newsletter keeping you posted on the travails of Canadian politicos. All curated by the National Post's own Tristan Hopper. To get an early version sent direct to your inbox every Monday to Thursday at 6:30 p.m. ET and 9 a.m. on Saturdays. Sign up here. Top story. Even before Pierre Poilievre took his seat in the House of Commons as Conservative leader, he's been receiving an utter avalanche of partisan attacks and written criticism. If you're a Poilievre dissident, this is because he's a uniquely divisive figure operating well outside the bounds of normal discourse. If you're a Poilievre supporter, all the backlash is merely the panicked throes of a political establishment that is lashing out at the first Conservative they've truly feared since Stephen Harper. Whichever your inclination, here's a quick summary of the last 8 days of Poilievre hate. The NDP has already started commissioning attack ads against Poilievre, which could be a signal that they see him as having the potential to swing voters that would otherwise go NDP. This is rather novel. While there are indeed ridings in Western Canada where the NDP and the Conservatives are the chief rivals for power, the NDP typically pulls its support from voters who wouldn't even dream of casting a Tory ballot. The slogan of the attack campaign is "He's not in it for you," which longtime political watchers may recognize as being eerily close to the "he didn't come back for you" attack that the Harper Conservatives once leveled at Liberal leader Michael Ignatieff. "He's a friend of big business and the corporate elite," reads a 30-second ad set to conspiratorial marimba music. NDP MP Leah Gazan also used a Toronto Star op-ed to brand Poilievre as a fake freedom fighter who, among other things, once questioned the utility of Indian residential school compensation and backed Conservative efforts to tighten rules on union membership. "He's shown that he values some people's rights and freedoms more than others," she wrote. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had only just issued the customary welcome to Poilievre before he immediately posted a series of tweets accusing the new Conservative leader of reckless extremism, telling people they can opt out of inflation by investing in cryptocurrencies is not responsible leadership. Fighting against life-saving vaccines is not responsible leadership. Opposing the pandemic supports that saved jobs and helped families is not responsible leadership, wrote Trudeau. The Prime Minister reiterated as much in a September 12 address to the Liberal caucus, in which he indirectly accused Poilievre of trafficking in highly questionable, reckless economic ideas. "Buzzwords, dog whistles, and careless attacks don't add up to a plan for Canadians," he said. PPC leader Maxime Bernier. A Poilievre win was always going to be devastating to the People's Party of Canada in the 2021 election. The PPC benefited hugely from Conservatives fleeing the extraordinarily moderate policies of the Erin O'Toole-led Conservative Party. And now, according to polls, the most immediate effect of Poilievre's leadership win is that almost all of these PPC dissidents will be returning to the Tory fold. PPC leader Maxime Bernier has called Poilievre a career politician who will sell out his conservative principles at the first opportunity. "We cannot trust him, he will go to the left," Bernier said, in a recent Rebel News video. Ex-Conservative Senator Jean-Guy Dagenais. The Harper appointed Dagenais backed Jean Charest in the Conservative leadership, and he ripped up his Conservative membership card within hours of his candidate getting utterly smoked in the final results. Dagenais now sits as an independent, except a different kind of independent than the Liberal senators who also call themselves independent. The Quebec senator says he regrets nothing, and has taken particular issue with Poilievre's tacit support of the Freedom Convoy and his promise to defund the CBC. It's on the latter point that Dosnay has alternately compared Poilievre to US President Donald Trump or Russian leader Vladimir Putin, saying it speaks of a desire to control the media. In other news, speaking of Poilievre, the first polls have come in showing how Canadians might vote in a face-off between a Pierre Poilievre Conservative Party and a Justin Trudeau Liberal Party. An Abacus data poll put the Conservatives in a clear lead, 35% support against 30% for the Liberals. It's not all that different than the popular vote shares recorded during the 2021 election. But it would potentially be enough to score the Tories a minority government. A Liga poll similarly had the Conservatives in a clear lead against the Liberals, 34% to 28%. But found that respondents still narrowly preferred Trudeau as Prime Minister versus Poilievre. 24% of respondents preferred a Prime Minister Trudeau against 21% who preferred a Prime Minister Poilievre. Remember that Liberal NDP deal from March wherein Trudeau would retain power until at least 2025, in exchange for some funding promises? The Liberals certainly got everything they needed out of it. Trudeau has been governing like he has a parliamentary majority for a good 6 months now. But the NDP side of the ledger is not looking quite as good, with the Liberals having failed to deliver on even the single most touted component of the deal. The Trudeau government was supposed to implement a program of free dental care to low-income children by the end of the year. Instead, they're simply going to send out a $650 check to any low-income household who asks. In comments this week, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh said he would be flexible on the Liberals missing the dental care promise, but that he will bend no further